So, Chicago Bears quarterback Mitchell Trubisky has reportedly made phenomenal gains this offseason. But what exactly does that mean? What is going on, y'all? FaizSportsTalk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So, if you're a Bears fan, what are you doing? If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so. I do post a lot of Bears content on the channel, and you don't want to miss out. And follow me, guys, as always, on my social media accounts, links down below and on the screen for that. So you guys see we're talking about Mitch Trubisky, and I've got some news, I've got some updates that I want to share with you guys, and something that I found very interesting. So let's get into it. So we all know the Bears offseason has been very interesting with the Bears quarterback situation, right? The Bears trading for Nick Foles, bringing him in, and now they're going to have a competition with Nick Foles and Mitchell Trubisky, who obviously regressed last year, and now it looks like he is playing for his job and his football career. And so when we take a look at Mitch and talk about how he's been preparing, I've talked to you guys all throughout the offseason. You know, Mitch had his press conference a few weeks ago where he talked about how he's motivated as ever. And again, look, there's a lot of, cookie cutter, just, coach speak, player speak type of things where I try to just avoid that. Obviously, Matt Nagy's going to say good things about him. You know, the Bears' new offense coordinator, Bill Lazor, came out and said Mitch Trubisky's best years are ahead of him. Like, all this stuff, they're going to say good stuff to prop him up. But at the end of the day, right, we only care about who wins football games for the Chicago Bears, right? So, when looking into that, I saw that Mitchell Trubisky had training done with this company called Spear Training, okay? And they made an Instagram post the other day, which I will quote to you guys. You guys can see it on the screen right now. And it basically says, Chicago Bears quarterback Mitchell Trubisky has made phenomenal gains this offseason with this training. Okay, prior to beginning his training, he was recovering from surgery for a partially torn labrum in his non-throwing arm. Since training here at Spear, his shoulder is as strong as it's ever been, and his mobility, range of motion, and strength have improved significantly. His throwing arm was structurally imbalanced when we first started with him from all of the overuse. Heading into his next and final training phase before going back to camp, his throwing arm is structurally balanced, and he's throwing the ball extremely well, feeling as good as he ever has. His hard work this offseason and effort in the weight room has been relentless. Super excited for him to display his new strength on the field this season. So, a lot to unpack there, but I want to focus on one thing because, again, obviously the company that he, worked with, they're going to say good things about him, right? But one thing that I want to focus on was them saying his throwing arm was structurally imbalanced from all of the overuse. Excuse me? Mitch Trubisky's throwing arm has been structurally imbalanced this whole time? If that is true, then that would explain Mitch Trubisky's biggest issue throughout his NFL career so far, which is his accuracy or lack thereof. His throwing arm has been imbalanced this whole time. I mean, that is pretty huge to me if that is the case, because like I said, last season, Mitch Trubisky injured his non-throwing shoulder. And again, even though people think, oh, it's your non-throwing shoulder, it shouldn't affect you that much, folks, when you're dropping back and throwing the ball, 20, 30, 40 times a game, it's going to have an impact, okay? So to me, they said obviously that has been cleared up, but more so that his throwing arm was structurally imbalanced. We know Mitch Trubisky has had major issues in his career with his feet in the pocket, with having sort of the right stance. It's been very sloppy, and a lot of what he needs to improve can be corrected from just having the proper techniques and footwork. It's never been a question about the talent for Mitchell Trubisky. We know he's got the talent. It's just all up here and getting everything structurally down pat and not having things be sloppy, right? You have your footwork right, you have your arm strength right, the release right, everything like that. But to me, that really stood out, that his throwing arm was structurally imbalanced, and now it's balanced because, again, if that is the case, if Mitch Trubisky has been, having major arm issues even in his throwing arm, that would explain the poor season last year. That would explain the accuracy. That would explain a lot. Okay. So again, just something that I thought was very interesting that I wanted to share with you guys. And I want your guys' input on this because, again, I'm not sure, again, how true this is, but they are saying this. So I'm going to, obviously, take it for what it is. But again, that is huge if his throwing arm was not 100%. So look, Mitch looks like he's doing everything this offseason, man. He's saying the right things. He's doing the right things. He's working hard. The coaches are loving it. Everybody has had good things to say about Mitchell Trubisky. But obviously, none of it matters until training camp and preseason, if we have any preseason, and until the first week of this NFL season. Okay? Because his job is on the line. His career as a starting quarterback in this league is potentially on the line. And he needs to absolutely just, prove himself and ball out. But like I said, this was interesting because if that has been the case, that explains a lot. And maybe what happens this offseason or what has happened is they have fixed Mitch Trubisky's arm. They have fixed his, throwing motion. They've fixed his feet. They've made his stance cleaner. Like a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about, folks, this is just stuff that, again, is all about technique, right? You can be so much better if your technique is proper. And so I'm guessing that's what's happening with Mitch. So again, I'm excited, but look, I'm not going to take this and say, oh, Mitch is winning the job. I've said Mitch, I believe personally, will win the job. But again, this obviously helps that stance, but I'm not going to take this and say, oh my God, this was the entire reason for it. But just wanted to share with you guys because I thought it was very interesting. Okay, they're saying his throwing arm was structurally imbalanced this whole time. That don't sit well with me, obviously, because that means something was wrong with your arm. So hopefully it's fixed now. That's what they're saying. Let's see what happens. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree. As always, thanks for watching.